As I start my new project, Virtual Walks, Walk Through History, I'd like to take a look at the few months that went by. On 24th of March, when the country went into lockdown, I decided to start lockdown learning. Learning not just myself, but also sharing whatever I learnt. I started telling folk tales for little children. I knew their mothers were busy with work from home. So I started telling stories of Sheikh Chilli, Babban Hajam, Chidiya Chidde, Husus Mere Kaan Mein Hus, and many other folk tales. These became a big hit with children. Then came Ramzan. I started by explaining the meaning of what Ramzan is, what it stands for, and what we are supposed to do when we fast. And I started a series called Dastarkhwan Ramzan, intending to make it simpler for everybody to understand and to know why and what we do in Ramzan. In earlier years, I used to post recipes under Dastarkhwan Ramzan. Dastarkhan means tablecloth or a place where the food is served. But this year, because of the economic distress, I decided to make it a more spiritual experience and not talk about food. So Dastarkhwan Ramzan this time was food for the soul. And in that, I told many stories. Stories from Quran and Hadith, stories from Jama Masjid, from mosques around Delhi and India, which I have explored, and from dargahs, tales of syncretism. Around that time, Soumya Kulshestra invited me to a talk on Instagram, and I discovered Instagram Live. After that, I did many instalives myself, starting with Professor Ali Khan Mahmudabad on his Poetry of Belonging, talking to Rehan Asad on my book Shahjahanabad, and then of course launching Akbar the Great Mughal by Ira Mukhoti on Insta Live. As you can see from the photos, we had great fun. 2 hours almost of discussing Akbar and his vision non-stop. Then I invited Himanshu Bajpai for Qissa Qissa Lucknow, and of course Manimukt Sharma, with whom I had many discussions on the Delhi Sultanate, on his book, and on 1857. I appeared on Wajd talking about Ramzan. A thumbprint conversations on why women write with Teresa Rahman, and then of course a beautiful presentation by art historian Professor Kavita Singh on my Facebook page called Making the Invisible Visible. I gave a few lectures for Karwan on, and a wonderful talk by Professor Sajjad Rizvi on the legacy of Hazrat Ali. I had a conversation on food with Neha Verma. I have long since discussed the difference of biryani and pulao. Of course, I love the Lucknow Yakhni pulao. The charming Moin Mir joined me on Insta Live, and we discussed Surat, Rise of a Prince, Fall of a City. 1857 saw me giving many talks on 11th of May 1857, when the Sepoys rode into Delhi to ask Bahadur Shah Zafar to lead them against the East India Company, and one conversation on that with Manimukt Sharma on the military aspects of it. Gagga Jamni Tehzeeb, I discussed the Muslim Diwans of Banaras who came from my family. A wonderful session with Professor Ali Nadeem Rizavi on Sulh-e-Kul and its meaning today. We've always talked of kings, but I talked of the people with Abhishek Kaikar on his new book, The King and the People. I addressed a few schools also on why learning history is important and how we should read history and what is the best way to do it. surreal conversation with Amita Beg on the Taj Mahal, conversations on history women with Ruby Lal and Ira Mukhoti. The conversations just flowed and information kept getting recorded for everybody, for posterity. I had a great fun conversation with Manu Pillai on writing history of the Deccan. I had a record 1347 viewers for the first part. A great fun conversation, and it's there on my YouTube channel and IGTV, as are all other videos. Manu, as always, is very erudite and entertaining. A beautiful conversation with Professor Supriya Gandhi on the women and their influence in Dara Shikoh's life. I heard how Dara Shikoh used to call Nadra Begum Anise Khas, Hamdam, Hamraz. A very tender conversation in which Professor Gandhi read out a passage where Jahanara is talking about her brother. What did Mumtaz Mahal think about? Or what was Mumtaz Mahal's role in her son's life? There was a charming conversation with Tarana Hussain on Eid's past and present, how she celebrated it in Rampur, how it was traditionally celebrated in Rampur, and how we celebrated it in Lucknow and Aligarh. A lot of nostalgia in that conversation. I ended it on 23rd June last night with a conversation with Pragya Tiwari on how history should be written, on the importance of gathering historical information in an easy to access way for all, so that events that shaped our country are available for all, and misrepresentation and distortion of history can be stopped. I now start a new journey, a walk through history, virtual walks. I hope to see you there. Are you interested in Indian history and culture? How about a virtual walk with me? I shall take you through the events that happened around monuments, starting with Bihar in the 2nd century BCE and ending in the Delhi of 19th century CE. Walk with me, virtual walks, where we will have interactive sessions after each talk. These will be on Zoom. If you're interested to sign up, please write to subuhisafvi@gmail.com. subuhisafvi@gmail.com. Let's walk through history. It'll be fun, I promise you. And yes, there'll be lots of PowerPoint presentations. I will take you virtually through each place, through the photographs.